Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dr. Moon here, the street performer in downtown Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm glad everybody stopped in, and I hope that you're doing well and thinking about the springtime coming and different things that you might bring to the streets in your particular area that you want to share with your community. So I had a individual ask about Bristol, Virginia, or Bristol, Tennessee, one and the same, if you're familiar with that area, about the busking regulations in Bristol, if that was available or not. So the beauty of the internet is if you look up your particular area, wherever you're at, and put in Charlottesville busking or wherever you happen to be, most of the times anymore, towns will have information on how you can exercise your First Amendment rights in getting out and sharing your art and music with the community. And so that's what I did with Bristol, Virginia. And I have an interesting family connection with Bristol I'll share with you at the end of the video that makes this really special to me. So Bristol has done a beautiful job of setting up a program that's called Bristol's Busk Stop Central. And so I hope you go online and find that, the Bristol's Busk Stop Central. And it goes over information on their busking program. You can go on the internet and pull up their information. They've done a really good job of getting information out as far as good suggestions on when you take your art to the street, wherever you're at. Really good basic things. So give me just 1 second and I'll find this for you. Here are some great guidelines that Bristol, Tennessee, put out on their program for buskers that give their basic ideas of regulations or suggestions of what you should be doing downtown. And these are really fundamental to busking wherever you're at. No matter where you are in the country, wherever you're setting up, these are things that you really should take into consideration as you're setting up to perform. And so let me go over those. That the busking should be for like a maximum of 90 minutes. If you play on the street for 90 minutes, that's a long time. That's a long time to be performing. And so that's realistically, that's also in one location. And so I would say in an area that's really large, you could close up your act and move to another location, start again. But again, being able to perform for 90 minutes continuously, that's a long time. And so that's not really that bad a regulation as far as that goes. Certain things as far as setting up in front of a doorway or in the way of something. Be mindful of the local stores, the local shops. Make sure that you're not blocking their ability to get in. Don't block their windows. If there's a question about where you're setting up, go in, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to the shop owner. Explain what you're doing. Ask them if they mind you setting up. It's great publicity for them. It's something interesting going on outside. And so it is definitely something that's worth going in and asking about. As far as your volume goes, you should be just a little bit louder than the regular sound of the street. You really shouldn't try to use a lot of amplification, really loud instruments and things like that. Be mindful of your environment. If there are people sitting close, having dinner, having outdoor cafes and things like that, if you come in and you're blaring, then you're going to get a noise complaint, and you don't want to do that. And if you were there, it wouldn't be conducive to what you're doing. So Be mindful of your area where you're setting up. Don't create a noise complaint as far as where you're setting up goes. If you take breaks, when you are busking, put your instrument down, step away from it, especially if you smoke cigarettes, anything like that, you're on your phone. Stop so that you give an indication that you are on your break. Don't take any money during that time. You're not soliciting money. You're not asking for money. You're taking a break from performing. Then when you go back up, perform. Standing with an instrument isn't busking. It is loitering. And so it's going to cause a problem. You have to be doing something. And repetition on your material is one of the largest complaints. If you're in an area that it has a captive audience and you only have a limited repertoire, you might do your set and then move along. Go to another location, do your set again, then keep moving. But be aware of that. If you only have a limited amount of things that you're doing, don't create a noise complaint in just being an aggravating thing. If you have a great crowd, look up Cyrus Penn, one of the best. He's actually a world record holder sword swallower, and he originated on the streets of Blacksburg. And so Cyrus Penn, look him up. He's out in LA now. He and his wife have a crazy act that they do at Renaissance fairs. Cyrus is a good friend of mine, and Cyrus would draw a crowd. Doing his sword swallowing, he would balance a ladder on his chin. So if you're going to draw a crowd, be mindful of that. Don't do it so that they block in the street. Get more toward an alleyway or an open grassy area. When you're setting up, get ready for your big crowd to gather around. That would be something different than a walk-by act where you're standing, you're playing your instrument, you're singing or whatever, and people are walking past on the sidewalk. You should still stay in, make sure nobody falls, nobody trips. Be very mindful of everybody coming and going. Be extremely polite. You should always clean up. Shakespeare says, the world is your stage. When you arrive, don't play in trash. Pick up trash. Pick up cigarette butts. Pick up and clean your area where you're getting ready to perform, where you're getting ready to set up. Don't have it so that the people enjoying sitting on the benches are sitting in trash. Go around, because everything is being viewed. There are cameras everywhere. There are people watching everything. It makes an impression on the people that you care about your community in the way that you're there, in the way that you're sharing, and the way that you're helping everybody have a great day. And so they say if you have CDs or things like that, if you have your art out, if you have your writing out, if you have these things out, of course you can't sell them, but you can also explain that these things are available for donation. You can recommend a level of donation. PBS does it, anyone like that. So you could always work it out with the people. If they're interested in your things, they're interested in your art, they'll stop and talk to you. Then that's between you. That's, again, First Amendment rights as far as that goes. And so that would be something. But again, you can't sell things, but you can display your CDs. You can display your writings, things like that. And you can't be asking for money. That's soliciting. That's not the same thing. And again, you have to be engaged. You have to be performing or taking a break from performing. But you can't be just standing, holding your instrument and just sort of hanging out. Just always remember that to be polite to the people that are there and helpful in terms of sharing their information on how they can participate, how they can be a part of that. How famous could you become? I'll give you this. My fourth cousin was a blind man by the name of Alfred Reed. He was my grandmother's cousin, and he was born in Alum Ridge in Floyd, Virginia. And he went on to move to Hinton, West Virginia. And there he worked as a street musician. He wrote his own songs. He printed them out and had them for a dime a piece. He stood on the corner 3 miles from where he lived, and he played the fiddle, and he played his original music. The people with the Victor Music Studio heard about it. And if you've ever seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and the people that originally sang in the can, they came and they asked Alfred Reed if he would come to Bristol, Tennessee to sing with the Carter family, with little Jimmy Dickens, in 1927, in what became known as the Big Bang of country music. And so my cousin, the street musician from Allen Ridge and Floyd, was one of the pioneers in terms of being able to go out and share your music in our area. So I hope that this is inspiring to you to look up things in your own area as far as your location, busking, some good information on how to get started, things to think about when you go to the street if you're going to perform or share your art. And that also there one last thing. When you are performing, you are performing, but you're also creating an image in a way. You're creating an idea in someone's mind of something romantic. And this was something that struck me, because this was in the Busking information on with Bristol, with the town, and the way that they viewed this. And I'm sorry, give me just a second. I'll have this for you. Have you ever seen that lone sax player or the guitarist in the alley? Busking performances can just be about anything that people find entertaining. And then this is on the Bristol Busker site. So also check out Busk Roanoke. Busk Roanoke. Look it up. You'll enjoy everything that's going on there. Please follow that. Please support that. But they list buskers. So this is your ideas. Acrobatics, animal tricks, balloon twisting, card tricks, clowning, comedy, contortions, escapes, dance, fire eating, juggling, magic, mime, and mime variation where the artist performs as a living statue. My wife actually does that. Musical performance, puppeteering, storytelling, or reciting poetry, or prose as a bard, street art, sketching, painting, etc., street theater, sword swallowing. Again, Cyrus Penn. Look him up. Thank you all so much. I'm going to do some more videos on exactly how to best approach other aspects of being on the street. I hope that you're able to really get out and enjoy yourself. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next video. Thank you again. Bye-bye.